So Marathon is out now. I've streamed a good few hours of it. I've also been playing a lot offline. And this is just going to be my thoughts. All of the footage is from my Twitch streams, which will have a pop up here if you want to come and watch. Otherwise, if you enjoy the video, hit the like and subscribe as it helps me out a lot. And let me know in the comments below what you think of the game so far. Also, if my voice sounds off, I've been fairly sick today, but I need to get this video out, so we're doing it sick. Please subscribe for the sickness. So, Marathon. There's been a lot of criticism around this game, as well as a lot of hatred that I feel is extremely unjustified for what it does. On top of that, it's also got the Bungie stigma of being made by Bungie because of everything that they've done with Destiny 2. And as a Destiny 2 player, I'm also going to give my opinion on that situation a little bit, but that'll be later in the video. So where should we start? I want to start with the things I don't like, because honestly, I was a Marathon hater until probably about a month ago, when I started looking more in depth in the game and I started seeing things that I liked, such as the gunplay, which, you know, I said I was going to start with things that I don't like, but the gunplay in this game is amazing. I absolutely love it. Bungie always hits 10 out of 10 with their gunplay. However, their movement system sucks ass. So throughout this gameplay, you'll see a little bar on my screen that appears whenever I sprint or jump or use my movement ability. That is something that I absolutely despise and hate, because not only does it limit your sprint ability, which I thought they would have learned from the whole sprint cancelling in Destiny, people don't like, but basically what it is it's meant to limit your movement ability so you use it more tactically. Instead, it just is an absolute hindrance, in my opinion, because once your bar is full, you cannot sprint until it cools down, and there are mods that make it cool down faster, but I haven't found any so far. And I would be perfectly okay with this movement limitation if it was for your movement ability. For example, there's another shell, and I'll get to the shells in a minute, that has a double jump. This shell that I'm playing with is called the Destroyer and has like a boost. Not every shell has that. For example, the Medic doesn't have a movement ability to my knowledge, and it just makes it feel bad, essentially. Because, you know, I wouldn't be angry if it was specifically for the movement ability. I understand that being able to boost non-stop would be a little bit broken, but limiting my sprint and how fast I can move across the map in just a basic sense is a real feels bad moment, and I kind of hope that they either change it or outright remove it in regards to sprint. For things like abilities, I don't mind. I think it's fine for abilities, but for sprinting, it's not a good feature. Now, since I brought it up, let's talk about your shells. Your shells are more or less your class. It does have that hero shooter motif where each class has somewhat unique abilities. There are currently 7, 6 of which are usable in teams, and a singular one called Rook that is meant for singular play only. And I think these are really, really cool. I know that there's another one on the way that will come some point soon. I think that they could do a little bit more with these though. And the reason I say this is a class like the Destroyer only has one ability, basically. Like, you have a prime ability and a tactical ability, where some of the classes have 2 tactical abilities. Like the Assassin has 2 tactical abilities where he can smoke bomb, or he can like dive to the ground and make a smoke bomb, which are 2 separate abilities, which in my mind, makes him more powerful if you use him correctly. So I would like to see them make it so each class is kind of has their own thing, but they're all equal, so it's not like you have an advantage because you're playing a meta class. Now, since we're talking about loadouts and classes, let's talk about the actual loadout system. I really enjoy the loadout system. As I said before, the gunplay is great, the guns feel great. Some of them are a little bit weird. For example, there are 3 main ammo types that you're going to encounter: light ammo, heavy ammo, and volt ammo. Heavy and light, when you reload, you just refill the magazine with bullets, where volt ammo, when you reload, if you have anything in the magazine, because it's a battery, you lose that. So it's a very unique, well, not unique, but it's very interesting choice to mix those systems. I would have preferred if they just said you'll lose all your ammo if you have bullets in the magazine, which I think is fine for the type of shooter that they're going for, because they're going for a tactical shooter. I know people are already having issues with vault space, which I am as well, because I'm just kind of hoarding shit. Like, I'm looking at my vault right now, so I have notes, and I have a decent amount of space left, but I also sold a lot of shit. One really cool feature that you might see in the gameplay is they have these things called sponsor kits. They're basically no monetary value in the game, like they aren't worth any currency. But what it is it gives you a free loadout to take in that doesn't take from your vault or from gear you have. It's just given to you by one of the factions, which I absolutely love this system. It is so cool to see, and it makes the factions feel like they're actually interacting with you and with the world in general. And again, since we're talking about the factions, I really like the factions. They aren't super important. Like, for example, you could skip all the cutscenes and the dialogue, and you wouldn't miss anything realistically if you're just going for gameplay. But they're really, really well done. They're well voiced, and they all have a very unique aesthetic, which I like. I'm currently only missing one faction. That's because I haven't been able to do the quest to meet them yet. But I will be doing that shortly, and I have seen the vendor, and the vendor is really fucking cool. And also, in terms of upgrades, they're actually really important. For example, Cyber Acme, which is the first faction you meet, are extremely important when it comes to upgrading your vault space, because they have that upgrade, whereas each one is focusing on upgrading specific things and giving you the ability to purchase different things. Like, I believe Miter is for buying like explosives and claymores, where if I look at Taraxis right now, they are for buying like attachments, so like scopes, magazines, barrels, that type of thing, which I think is great because it kind of forces you into interacting with each faction if you want those things, but also saying if you don't like SMGs, you don't need to interact with SMG or with Taraxis because they sell SMG parts. Now, I figure we should talk about the open world before I give my final thoughts. I really enjoy the open world. I thought I wouldn't because of the way everything looks, because of the colors and whatnot. I really, really enjoy it. The AI in the game are actually very difficult sometimes, and they can really fuck you up if you are not careful and if you interact with a battle badly. You have to really approach things carefully with this game. You can't just go in like Destiny, guns blazing. You have to plan out how you're going to attack things, because some of these enemies will tear your entire team apart. It's not funny. From the gameplay, you can see that I'm only really playing on perimeter in this. That's because the friends I was playing with were not as far into the game as I was. But I have played on the other 2 maps. Dire Marsh is actually one of my more favored maps. I really enjoy the way that map is laid out. Outpost I haven't really engaged with too much, but the little that I have, it is hell. It is very, very difficult. The enemies hit hard and take a lot of damage. So we still are missing the final one, which is the map on the marathon, which I'm very, very keen to see how it goes and deal with those big green bastards whose names I don't remember because I forgot the lore of the game. So this brings us towards the end, sort of. So I want to talk about something that a lot of people have been talking about, which is, did Marathon result in the death of Destiny? And the answer is no. As someone who has played Destiny since its original launch in 2014, yeah, I gotta tell you, I've watched the game slowly die over the years, and it died with Final Shape. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's still fun. You know, I still play with my friends. We're low manning all the raids in Destiny currently. But, you know, Marathon isn't the reason Destiny's in the shitter right now. Is it a contributor? Sure. It's probably taken away a little bit of development that could have gone to Destiny. But Destiny has been out for over 12 years now as a franchise. I think it's fair to move on to a different game and try and produce a different game. It's not healthy for one studio to just work on one game constantly. And at the end of the day, if they want to move on to something, they absolutely should. In saying that though, if you hate Marathon specifically because Bungie made it, or because you enjoyed Destiny and it's not doing so well right now, then you're dumb and you need to look at the bigger picture. If Marathon does well, and it's doing pretty well, it's not groundbreaking, it's not getting millions of concurrent players like other games are, but it's also not doing bad. Yes, people are falling off, but that happens with every single game. And this is more of a tactical extraction shooter game like Tarkov, which isn't something everyone likes, and it's not something everyone wants to play. At the end of the day, I think we should all just be happy that a game like this can be made and can come out, because it is quite obvious that it's high quality, that Bungie have put a lot of time into it, and while it does have flaws and bugs, well, actually not too many bugs. I haven't seen many bugs. I've crashed a few times, but I haven't seen many bugs actually like impacting my gameplay. But yeah, it's got its issues, as every game does. I think it still has a little bit of time where it needs to cook, which I'm hoping Bungie can give it the support it needs, while also continuing to support Destiny, because I love Destiny and I would hate to see it die just so this game can survive. I think that Bungie have the capabilities of keeping two games going at once, and I really hope that they do. So, to answer the question, is Marathon good? Yes. It is a good game. It is not a revolutionary, one-of-a-kind game that will never come around again. But I think it is worth your try. I think it is worth the time. And if you enjoy extraction shooters, I think you'll enjoy this game. Anyway, if you like this video, do leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of Marathon, if you've played it or if you haven't played it, and why you're not going to play it. I will reply to comments when and if I can, and I will see you in the next video. Also be sure to check out the Twitch in the description below.